to get a shot in the final. The big format change for this year, it's a head-to-head final as well, with some heavyweights in this one. We got Carissa, 1 in the world, Sally, number 2 in the world, Tati, number 3 in the world, and Johanne Defay, number 5. All 4 of these surfers already positioned in the final 5.
It's so insane. I mean, that is just the cream rising to the top there. When you look at the WSL leaderboard and then the Surf Branch leaderboard, to see those same ladies battling it out.
Of 2 for Tatiana, the 4th seed on the leaderboard here at the Jeep Surf Ranch Pro, presented by Adobe. The Goofy Foot getting started. Clean slate. Every score is going to count big time for a spot in the final. Big vertical there. Slamming on the brakes, trying to get that little vacuum effect where she'll get sucked back in the tube. Good read there for Weston-Webb. Right into a very smooth hack. So far, so good for Tati was.
Yeah, looking amazing up into the lip line. You know, that's going to be the point of difference, how vertical she can put that board and get there at the right time. And see her trying to push it. She went down. She's trying to get herself back into that bowl section as deep as she could. And then, you know, still come up vertical underneath it, push enough water out, but then get your board down in time to get back to the transition. Unfortunately, a little too behind it on that.
That's right, Strider. So Tati goes down. She'll get one more shot to improve on the right. What happened here, Rosie?
Well, as we just watched Tati, she was getting vertical, staying so tight to that pocket. Those 3 turns, right there, she floats the maneuver, gets that barrel section. Watch how deep she gets here, Joe. We know that that is what the judges are super critical there. Almost slip sliding on that foam ball. Bangs it up in that lip. She was looking so good. I think she was on her way to a huge score. I think the point of difference here for Tatiana is she's the only goofy footer in this top 4 in the semifinals. So just you know, that front foot just slipping off the rail there kind of gets a bit repositioned. She tries to regather herself and get it, send it over the stringer. Unfortunately, it goes down.
Tough section to go on. You can see that front foot was just sliding off the rail. We've been talking a lot about slippery decks. The search event, winning in El Salvador, and now the semifinals here in Lemoore. Tatiana, remember, had the 5-1-7 to get things going. Opening lap, just getting started. Power hack off the top for Weston-Webb. Nice clean snap. Staying really right in the pocket. The goal for Tati, stay right in the zone of what's in front of her. Don't think about too many things way down the line. Steps on the roof for a frontside float. That's going to put her just a little bit behind and too deep to make the inside connection. So her first run complete in the semifinals, just like the right, getting caught behind on the left as well.
Yeah, unfortunately getting caught behind, but solid start. We know that we have 2 runs for the women in the semifinals, so there's room for improvement from Tatiana, but I don't want to see safe surfing in these semifinals, and I think Tatiana is definitely stepping up the ante, throwing it vertical. You know, when we think about the bigger picture and results on the championship tour, coming into the semifinals, you're already guaranteeing yourself a good spot, a good finish. So there's a bit of freedom that comes from that, knowing that you've put up a solid effort, but to go one further and make it into the final, that's the cherry on top.
So true. Interesting to see how Tati's feeling going first in the semifinal. You know, when we talk about seeding, is it better to go first or be the last one standing, knowing what you need to do before you perform? It's all about excellent surfing. Sally Fitzgibbons loves her job. Perfect attendance in her career. So many great memories of major wins all around the world. She had a bet with her dad before the first win that once she won, he'd have to shave his mustache off, and she didn't know her dad without a mustache. And that mustache has been gone for a very long time. Now he thanks her for it.
I remember when that bet first originated in Peru, actually, before she won her first title at Bells. So that was a long-standing bet, and yeah, Martin was, you know, stoked to see his daughter do well. Relieved he didn't have to shave the mustache. She gets really deep in that barrel. But yeah, Bells Beach, that thing came off.
Nice barrel to snap combination for Fitzgibbons. Finding the lip to hit. Drawing that one off the top. We'll make comparisons now to Tati's 5.17. That was her right. Sally's hoping to overtake Tati with a right-hander score. Just a little bit in front for that inside section to pull into. So it's going to come down to a big finish. Frontside wrap for Sal. And gets another little snap to finish. Fitzgibbons just focused on completing that ride. It was interesting with Tati's rides ending up short. Talk to the judges. They say, well, riding the entire wave will maximize the surfer's scoring potential as there'll be more opportunities to execute major maneuvers. You will be scored on what you've done before you fall, and it will be possible to achieve a high score if you perform to the criteria for the majority of the wave.
Yeah, so what that tells me is even if you're at the outside and you're just hammering away, there's more potential to get more points, if you really link together those major maneuvers, even if you fall on that inside section. So either way that you slice it, Joe, whether you make it to the end or whether you go ham on the beginning section, there's opportunity to get big points.
Barrel was beautiful with the spit for Sal out the back. What about the turns? Are those the best turns you've seen from Sal over the weekend?
You know what, Joe? I think this wave is a bit subdued. I think this wave is a good settler for Sal. I think she's got more to show. She didn't get super deep on this barrel encounter either, but like I said, we're looking for more. If you want to finish in that top two and make it into the final, I think Sally knows it too. She's got to give her best.
Framed up a beautiful carve when she realized she didn't get in the barrel at the end of the right. And now she'll set up for the left here.
And just kind of feel the tempo and get another rep under her feet and then have a good base to build on. And that's what she did. She went out and she executed on her plan.
Well done. Thank you, Strider. Left in motion for Sal. And if we'll just make the comparison to Tati, Tati had the 6.17 on the left. Sally needs a 4.34 for the lead change. Hustling out of the gate. Sally meets the lip well. Draws that bottom turn, all projection maneuvers, keeping it lateral to keep up to the pace of the wave. More off the top there with the drift. Another jam in the critical part of the wave. Fans it again. Going left has taken her to victories at Cloud Break multiple times in much bigger surf than this. Quick float, almost late on the climb, but still handles. Now this thing is about to go inside out. The view from the sky, Sally still travels, makes the pit, wraps it shut, so completing both of her waves from start to finish, looking very solid here on finals day.
A well-executed plan. That left for me really highlights Sally's strength. It's so funny because not funny, but interesting just to draw comparisons to the ocean. I think, at certain breaks, there's certain sections of the wave that you maybe favor. You look at somewhere like Jeffreys Bay and you say, I really love the car park section. For Sally, I think here at the Surf Ranch, it's this initial left-hander section of the wave where she really digs into these three maneuvers. She sets up so well. She knows it's, she's incredibly familiar with it. So, yeah, she's just done so well to put that backhand to good work. I think she's going to couple up with that 7 nicely with the number that she gets here.
And she easily could have skipped a couple of those climbs, but she's committed to rack up more turns. How about the pit?
Loved it. I mean, Joe, there she just disappears from view. You can tell that technically she's in full control of her speed and the way that she's utilizing that barrel.
Remember, we just had that flip-flop in the standings where Riss really found her form this morning in the bonus run, because Johanne Defay was on top of that leaderboard as we headed into finals morning.
Yeah, let's see Johanne Defay. Like I said, her demeanor is just unflappable. This lady, it's very hard to knock her off center.
And you got to really pay off that credit where it's due with the Sharp Eye team. Johanne Defay, Tatiana, Sally Fitzgibbons, all on Sharp Eye surfboards. Hard off the bottom, big hack there for the surfer that grew up in Reunion Island. Slamming on the brakes. She made the highlight reel from 2019 on that barrel on the right. She'll get spit out quickly. Quick little reset check there. More off the lip on that one. Beautiful layback gouge. Not wasting any time between maneuvers off the top. Now she'll take a quick breath to pull in. Sometimes time almost stands still in the pit. She's able to fit in a couple of different combinations, snap to carve to stay on her feet. She has been so consistent over the weekend here. And without being able to surf in this event last year when the world shut down, it's like she picked up right where she left off in 2019.
Yeah, I'm nodding my head. That was great surfing from Johanne. Like you said, Joey, there's some waves that you just have an instant connection with. Johanne Defay has that at this pace. And like you said, missing last year's event, so having to rely on past memories and just letting that muscle memory do it, pay its course.
We talk about power. Where does she fit into the most powerful surfer on tour conversation?
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, we have seen all the ladies increase their power. I definitely think she's one of those women that trains super hard, has a lot of strength in her lower body as well as her core.
And also mixing up her turns. Enough variety for you on this wave?
Yeah, I love the variety that she was showing. I mean, just going to that back arm, doing the layback, getting super barreled. We saw a bit of a spit on the first barrel. There, she almost disappears from view. I like the way that she negotiated this section right here. She didn't immediately attack the lip. She really waited to get her feet in the right place. But yeah, another solid foundational wave.
She traveled with her mom through the Australian leg of the tour. They both went through quarantine together. Defay, former breakthrough performer of the season back in 2014, along with Rookie of the Year. Got maneuver of the season a couple years later when she did a nose pick reverse at Snapper Rocks. Obviously there on her front side. Here's a left-hander here. Going left has gotten her wins at Cloud Break and Uluwatu. Looking for her first win of the season. There's a connection through the pocket. Hard off the bottom. Big hammer for Defay. Throwing some water once again. There's the lip getting crushed. Defay in that unstoppable rhythm. She'll just continue to jam. 3 sets for the float. Now time to get barreled. Exciting day of action here on finals day for the Jeep Surf Ranch Pro, presented by Adobe here on Sunday. It's an unbelievable day of action as we'll be crowning our champions here at stop number 6.
The question is, how is she going to treat it? Like the other surfers, building the house, or is she actually just going to tear into that wall and see what kind of score she can get? I can't wait. I mean, I've been waiting for this moment because she's our #1 right now, and that's what we wait for all year.
That's right, Strider. Always the focus on world #1. Carissa is so used to that. Sometimes it can feel like a target on your back, but I think it makes Carissa feel more comfortable, more confident when she's wearing the yellow leaders jersey. Nice, beautiful layback power gouge, setting up the tube. She'll pull in. That thing's still draining. Lets her out nicely. Carissa Moore off the top. Nice snap again. Surfer from Hawaii on a roll now. Nice wrap into the pocket. Beautiful vertical turn as well. There's that jam. So a ton of maneuvers before this end section barrel. She wants to get incredibly deep. She is so deep. Carissa Moore goes down.
Ooh, I think that's the kind of the first mistake that I've seen from Carissa. I mean, not completing a wave, but not taking anything away from her because she wanted to get super deep. You have to stuff yourself right back in that barrel if you want to get the most points. I think she's trying to maximize every maneuver there. She shakes it off.
It's interesting because judges will talk about incomplete waves being more difficult to reach excellent range scores, just needing to leave a separation for surfers that complete the whole wave at the high performance level.
Look how deep she was there. You see that flash of that yellow jersey as she goes down.
Falling over there, and Carissa Moore will be chasing the top right-hand score that Johanne Defay threw down at a 7.57.
Yeah, it looks like she got a little roasty on the elbow. It is actually, this wave gives a thump. When you go down like that, I mean, you think you're in a pool and it's soft, but it's groundswell technology. That bottom, you can get a little roasty.
Carissa Moore, one of the most successful amateur surfers of all time in the NSSA, and she got all those big titles at lower trestles in San Clemente. So much in her history with major wins, and that's where the world title showdown will be, at that same venue that she grew up on. This hydrofoil moves at around 20 miles an hour, maybe a little bit faster. Pulling a hydrofoil, which is like the hull of a huge ship. Snap to start for Carissa, already swinging hard off the lip line. Deep off the bottom, she'll have a section under her board, so she'll float it, then hitting it harder on the next opportunity. Snap to slide again for Riss. Has such a beautiful windup off the bottom. That bottom turn sets up all the power that she unloads off the lip. Back-to-back floats. Before she gets into this hollow part of the wave, she'll position herself nice and deep. Carissa Moore makes it. Little down carved wrap. The nice tidy rebound for Riss Moore. Fell early on the right, which is a 6-5, and a nice completion on the left on her opening run.
There it is, yeah. Great to just finish off on her feet. Good settling wave after that right hander. Got super deep on the barrel, but Joey, just so cool to watch these women compete like this, and taking deep breaths on the boat ramp there. As we watch the play of this one, she starts to set up, eyeing off that lip, eyes down the line. Kind of just a little setup to really get to this section as she shimmies her way up to the lip, goes for the float, burns off some speed, eyes off that critical section. So the closer that she stays to the whitewater, gives her more of a lip to hit as it lurches out at her. A lot of spray, flow. Getting technical now. This is the one that's a little bit sketchy. Whoa, almost kind of has a little bit of a misstep again. There she burns off the speed, gets ready for that barrel. Super deep right there, comes out, cut back maneuver. So finishes on her feet, completes the ride.
Carissa Moore over the last couple of days has been trying to understand her scores through the qualifying round, as Johanne Defay was always leading, and she spent some time talking to the judges.
How well she's done. I think it's a big tribute to her coach too, and her shaper, Sharp Eye, and then the coach Ross Williams, to really put her in a place to succeed. And we're watching that. I think we're going to see her push the limits at the moment. This is it though. This is her last chance to really get it done. She's got two choices on the right and the left, and let's see what happens.
Tatiana Weston-Webb had her first run already, so this is where it really counts. She's in the 4th position now, which would equal a semi-final result in the ocean event. So she wants to get in the top 2 to make the final here. Laying low in the pit, set it up quite well. Comes out into daylight, nice and clean. Quick jam off the top. Weston-Webb hits it again. Nice water thrown out the back. Hitting it a bit harder. How was that approach? Another big vertical for Tati. Absolutely crushing sections. Tube time, Weston-Webb slamming on the brakes. Enjoying that view. Now she's got to finish. Beautiful backhand carve. Bonus section as she runs out of room. Weston-Webb chasing that 8.66 to put herself into the final.
Joe, I actually had that heart-stopping moment when I was watching her in that barrel, that maybe she just got clipped. That just shows how deep she was. And on one of these sections, she actually hit it so hard, the bun in her hair came out. So just shows that she's just whipping that lip, throwing everything at it. But here, this barrel section, you see how she kind of just drops her butt into the face of the wave to kind of brush off some speed. Comes out over here, connects with that lip. Oh, there it is. The hair comes out. She gets critical. Like you said, she's got to kind of tidy up her scores after that first run, and she knows it. So she's under pressure to get in the top 2. Finishes off this wave, just goes down over here, but I don't think that's going to impact her score too much.
Well, there is the right. Coming up next is the left for Tatiana Weston-Webb. Let's have our own Strider Wazalewski break down the left here at the Surf Ranch. Here at the Surf Ranch, which was ridden for the first time by the legendary Jerry Lopez, the pipeline specialist, but also traveled on tour for many years. The Zen master himself was treated to the opening left. Here through the basin, Tati's turn when it all counts. Last score on the right was solid, 7-6. Now her last chance to make the final, needing a 7.24, belts it super hard there. A lot of flow there off the bottom. Big power hack once again. Nice snap right on the money. On a roll now. Hacks it again. So much water moving out the back. Judges love seeing spray. That means she's meeting it with perfect timing. She'll tap that section. Flowing in the pocket again. Now she'll look to get tubed here. Tati pulling in. Solid positioning, one of the best tube riders on tour. She'll lay down that carb, and she's feeling it. She knew that was going to be the pressure moment for her. She's going pushing that off with happiness, saying there's no pressure at all. She's having a blast after falling early on her first left at a 6.17. That is an entire completion with high performance maneuvers row.
I've got the golf clap going on for Tati there because that was great surfing. What a way to turn your runs around, and obviously coming in as that 4th seed.
Welcome back to the Jeep Surf Ranch Pro presented by Adobe. This is the only time I will disagree with the late great Lou Reed when he said Sally can't dance, because check it out, the dance floor is open and Sally's up.
Gotta love what she's got to do here, because this is pressure filled. She just got moved into 3rd position. Tatiana went up with an 8.17, moved into 2nd. So this wave right here, she needs a 7.95 to overtake that position back from Tatiana. And so talk about pressure cooker. She's in it right now. No mistakes. This is her last chance just for the right to improve on the 7. Whereas her 7.83 on her left, which is going to be coming up next, going to be harder to better that score with any more points.
Well, we're only taking 2 surfers from this group of 4. This is Sally Fitzgibbons trying to finish strong. Deep tube. What's the closer going to be? Bam! Quick snap there, and the bonus.
Nice.
Sally Fitzgibbons right there. 2-for-1 punch. We want to welcome everybody to semifinals here on the women's draw for the Jeep Surf Ranch Pro presented by Adobe. Chris Cote here with Pete Mel, and the women have turned it on again. We saw it yesterday. It was a real momentum burst from our female contingent, and they're continuing that tradition right now.
Yeah, and if you'd been paying attention to qualification, a lot of times surfing was conservative, but on finals day, nothing like that. It is full bore, going for it, and with all that pressure, it can be very tough, but Sally did everything she could to get that 7.95 here, and now has put it to the judges to see if she gets the number.
Well, it was about timing, it was about patience, and it had to be perfect. I mean, you cannot leave it up to the judges. You can't allow them to, you can't force them to go back and compare to other 7s. You have to rise above. You have to surf for 8s, 9s. Did she do enough on this wave?
Look, she did everything right on this one. She kept her speed up. She didn't hitch any rails, but there wasn't a moment where I was just like blown away. It was solid. That's what she does. She is super consistent, but I think she was missing just that one little element to get the number that she needed.
So with that big number coming through right before Sally Fitz stood up, an 8.17 for Tatiana Weston-Webb. That really has to play with your mind a little bit when you hear 8s coming across the board. Usually these surfers are so, they're so used to hearing, I need this, and scores changing back and forth. You have a long time to think about the score you need.
That's
all right, here we go. Last dance for Sally Fitzgibbons, unless she can eclipse that score of an 8.27. She's going to have to go above and beyond what we've seen before on the left for Sally. I like good energy to start.
She's going to need it. She's going to need something extra special here on this left. Expect something big here in this midsection. That's where she's been having her most consecutive big turns in a row.
There we go. Going vertical, throwing tons of spray, linking her turns down the line.
No!
I was just about to say a lot of control. But then she found herself, looked like too far up and into the lip, and it pulled the board out from under her heels.
Yeah, remember, they're already surfed a bunch of waves today. I mean, she is by far one of the most fittest athletes on this tour. She trained super hard, and every one of them, even the ones that train the hardest, still feel the burn on that second left when you're coming back.
Well, Tatiana Weston-Webb did the work. She got an 8.17 for her last left. We'll have Mitchell Salazar catch up with Tatiana Weston-Webb.
We already know how lethal her backhand is and what a great performer she is on lefts. She's just going to have to put it together in run number 2.
Hey, Kaipo, strategically, do you feel like she could cruise this right because of the 8.5? Or no, this is, I'm sorry, she needs to do it right here. This is the one.
Well, let's see what happens.
And we're on. Johanne Defay has been in a dominant form from the get-go of this event. So far, in the last couple of years of competition here at Surf Ranch, Johanne Defay has been a name that keeps rising to the top. And it's really on the strength of tube riding, but also her consistency. Yesterday, through her 4 runs, she had 4 scores that, if you combined any of the scenarios with those scores, she would still have been at the top of the leaderboard. Wow. She's that consistent and that good.
And here she is again at the top of the leaderboard, off just of one run number 1. Now she's trying to add a few more points, but she still has that number 1 seed, so she's pretty much guaranteed for the final.
Yeah, this is her cruising, and I like the energy conservation. We will see more of Johanne Defay. She will be going again very soon. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching the Jeep Surf Ranch Pro presented by Adobe. Stay tuned. Welcome back, surf fans. You're watching the Jeep Surf Ranch Pro presented by Adobe. Johanne Defay right now cruising her way into the top spot. No need to play much defense right here. Pete, she's looking pretty much like a lock for the finals.
Yeah, now it's by the strength of her first run in this final. She had an 8.5 on the left, so she's trying to better an 8.5 on this wave. And I think she is just cruising because, you know what? She's already guaranteed a spot. She's sitting at number 1 right now in that final, or in the semifinal. And she really just has to keep the top 2 spots in order to surf in the final. So there's no real need to use too much energy here. And what it's going to come down to is this next surfer, the surfer in number 4th position, which is Carissa Moore. She has some work to do if she wants to make the final. Beautiful stuff from Johanne Defay. Her consistency has really given her the opportunity to kind of be stress-free as far as this event is concerned. She's been surfing the most stress-free of any surfer in this whole entire event.
Yeah, I love this this walk by right here. Carissa Moore. As if there wasn't enough pressure at this event already. Now, it's about getting to that boss level. We know Carissa Moore's capable of it, but Tatiana Weston-Webb has been a fighter throughout the entire season. So it all comes down to this. Carissa Moore needs to better the scores that Tatiana Weston-Webb dropped to get herself up into 2nd place and join Johanne Defay in the final.
Okay, so her first wave here is going to be her right. She's getting 2 opportunities, one on the right, one on the left. Now her right is scored a 6.5 right now in this final or semifinal. So she can better that and she can add some points. Right now, if she can get herself a 7.71, that will guarantee her into 2nd position and give her a spot in the finals. So this is the opportunity. She has a lower score. She can also do it on the left if she doesn't get enough points on the right. So I mean, even if she gets a 7.5, maybe she can increase that left a little bit. But ultimately, I think she's going for it right here. She's been putting such huge numbers up. As we watch Defay just cruising, it's such a great backhand. Even her cruising still gets big numbers.
I would love to surf like Johanne Defay at 50%. I mean, she is just so fun to watch.
You know, she takes this tour very seriously, trains ultra hard, and in an event like this, it pays off. Having that extra leg strength and, you know, holding herself so there's no fatigue. She really has not shown ever any fatigue on her waves, and she's been completing every single one of them from the very first day of qualification.
All 4 surfers in the semifinals here are all currently battling it out in that final 5 position.
Yeah, that's good for them because what's that doing? It's solidifying their spot, and then you've got a couple great surfers sitting right there outside of that final 5. Steph Gilmore, Caroline Marks, some great surfers there vying for a spot.
No one's safe yet. The door to the final 5 still open. Now it's up to Carissa Moore with Tatiana Weston-Webb no doubt watching from somewhere, probably a hidden corner of Surf Ranch. The voodoo doll is out, but Carissa Moore, she is always steady, super consistent. That's why she's a multi-time world champ. She's looking to better a 6.5.
These are the moments that you thrive for in competition, is to be sitting there at the very end, having to make it happen. Once you do, it is incredible. She's on her way right now, though, surfing very solid.
It's on. Strider's got the front row seat.
Yeah, she's looking like she wants to get back into this bowl. She actually finding another tube. Can she make it through? That was a dangerous maneuver right there on that section of the wave, and now she's back on the open face. Huge gouge. That's what we're looking for. Times it perfect right into the barrel. Will she come flying out?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, she will, and then right up into the lip. Bang, a big, solid gouge. Drops the wallet, finishes it off with a tail slide. I think she's feeling confident right there with the head shake. You can see the body language and the way she was feeling. That's what we like to see after a wave from Carissa Moore.
Yeah, even a subtle Carissa Moore claim speaks volumes, because you know she was feeling it. And that wave had a different look to it. She got barreled 3 times on it and had 2 incredible end section hits to finish it off.
And that's what this wave will do occasionally. You know, you've got this basin that moves water around, and it shifts around, and so the wave subtly changes. And to be understanding of that and then make adjustments is what Carissa Moore has done. She literally had that section there is usually the barrel section, and then it goes into turns, right? But somehow she goes, wait a second, it looks like it's going to barrel again, and she goes back into the barrel. This was where I feel like she made the score up. That turn right there was so vicious, and then the setup for the barrel, super deep. She actually maximized that last section. It can be a shorter barrel, and then somehow she found 2 maneuvers here. Like, you're like, oh, is it over? Nope, straight up again. So a 7.71 needed to take that number 2 position. I think she's got those judges thinking long and hard right now.
Oh yeah, and the final 2 turns, I mean, that was maximum impact. That end section, really, it only seems to usually offer 1 chance to do something big. But Carissa Moore right here showing us, doing her 2 most radical turns on that wave at the very end.
Yeah, and pulling it off. And I think that's one of the key elements. That's why she received the 6.5, is she didn't make it out and finish that wave before.
Oh, she was just saying, I hope they tell me my score before I take off, because that right there
would help.
If she got the number, oh, we're going to see an epic victory lap. Waiting for one final score to come through.
It's a 7.4, just under.
You know, here we get to see Carissa Moore's reaction.
So again, it's a 7.4, and now needs to do an 8.37.
Wow, she just got the news with seconds to spare. She now needs an 8.37 to advance.
That's huge, and this is it. She can do it. This is the last chance. Talk about the pressure cooker. My goodness. Well, she's not going to be holding back, is she?
No. Those first turns were the indication of her intent as she speeds down the line. A big slam there, a little bit of a fin release. Oh, good wind up there, up and into the lip. 5th turn down the line. Carissa Moore hammering this wave for all it's worth. This tube ride's going to be of huge importance. That was a critical foam climb. Nice entry into the tube.
Deep. She's deep. And out.
And gets the finishing carve. And a stare down to the judges. I like the fire we're seeing from Carissa Moore. We're going to take a quick break. What will the judges give Carissa Moore on this wave? Will it be enough? You're going to have to stay tuned to find out. You're watching the Jeep Surf Ranch Pro presented by Adobe.